Well, hello and welcome to my channel, Bobo Buns So Vintage Life. Lovely to have you join me if you're new, and a big hello again if you've been here and visited many times before. My apologies for not having been around as frequently as I would have liked. Lots of ideas and plans, and time just ran ahead of me. So I still will return with those thoughts and things that I want to share with you. But for today, it's something new, something I've literally just finished last night and popped on, this lovely frock here. I did talk about it in my last video with you and showed you the fabric that I got in a charity shop and the Vintage Vogue pattern that I was thinking of making it up into, that I'd also found it in another charity shop. Now, this pattern that I found at the weekend, this Vogue, it says it's 1954 on the back of the pattern. And I absolutely love this with the small collar. It's a lovely shirtwaist dress, and it's got grown on sleeves, and then a box pleated skirt. It's absolutely glorious, buttons all the way through, and it's got in pattern for a belt inside it also. I absolutely love this pattern, it's just beautiful. I've got a couple of ideas for sewing this. One is this fabric here. Now, I can't quite age it. It's very narrow fabric. It's only 89 centimetres wide. So it's leading me to think, well, it must be from the 1950s, or, you know, it's unusual for the 80s to do fabric this narrow, but it has more of a modern print look to it. So I can't decide, but either way, it's got a vintage feel. It's a beautiful print with lots of the colours that I love in it. Because I needed to grade up the whole pattern, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to take the design elements from that Vintage Vogue and then draft my own. So pattern cut my own pattern, which I did. And I used the elements of collar. So it's like a sort of small Eton collar. It's a shirtwaister, but just buttoned to the waist rather than all the way through. And I've put in puffed cap sleeves. So it's a very fitted bodice with these lovely vintage blue buttons on it, and I've adorned it with a little pink plastic bow brooch that I really love in my collection. And then it's got a box pleated skirt with the box pleats sewn down so that it's really flattering around the hips and the tummy area. And then I made a long sash and managed to just squeeze enough fabric out because I wanted to have a big bow tie sash at the waist. So I'm going to go through elements of making this dress with you and showing you some of my design decisions, and then I'll finish with a full twirl so you can see the whole dress. I was originally inspired by the Vintage Vogue to make my own. Here's my quick drawing on a scrappy bit of paper with some of my ideas. And I French seamed everything that I sewed, and I put some black facings in, and then I lined the sleeves with the black as well. I thought it would all be absolutely fine. You know, I'd started to finish the neckline with the bias binding, you know, around the collar, and then I just suddenly realised the black was going to show the outside, so I had to start unpicking it. Now, I didn't have enough, you know, full fabric left. So I was wondering how I was going to make the facings, and in the end I managed to scrap together, you know, and piece together enough pieces just to make those facings in the same fabric, and then work out the issue with the skirt. things that I did discuss in my last video about sewing with vintage fabrics and patterns is that vintage fabric is narrower in width. You know, that often leads what the fabric is going to become. The case was the same for this. I had quite a lot, I think it was about 4 meters, but it's narrow. So I laid out all my pattern pieces and I could see that I wasn't going to have enough to actually make the facings. This looks just as nice unbuttoned actually, so I just unbuttoned. I didn't have enough to make the facings here, so I thought, oh, I'll make them in black. I didn't have enough for pockets or making the skirt, but the width of the skirt gave me enough length for the drop. So in the end I rotated the fabric round so that I would have enough, and often I'll do that when it's a straight draped skirt, you know, whether it'll be a gathered or a box pleat, then you can rotate the fabric so that, you know, the selvage edge is actually running along your waistline, and just move it around. That way you can actually get more out of the fabric. So I had to make some other sort of clever decisions with, well, I say clever, it makes it sound like I'm a brain box, you know, some other decisions to get the most out of this fabric so I could create the dress I had my heart set on. Shall we have a look at the full dress? I can show you how pleased I am with it. I'm also wearing it as the second day of Me Made May because I'm filming this for you on the 2nd of May. Hopefully get time to edit it and it will be up for you to watch over the weekend. So there are my plans. So thank you for joining me today. It's lovely as always to get to chat to you. I just wish I had more time in my schedule to do so. If you've already subscribed, then please do. Then you won't miss out when I do put up another chat for you. And tell friends I'm here. Comment, I love to talk with you, get your feedback on my content and the makes, hear what you're making or how it's inspiring your sewing too. So until next time, lovely people, thank you so much for joining me, and I shall say goodbye for now.